back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. Now, it's real time.
Now, here in a little bit, we're going to have a tech tip for you. But before that, we're going to check in with Mike Surdyk from Raymarine. Mike, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. We were all hoping to see you at the duck line this morning out there calling some birds and maybe doing some shooting, but that didn't pan out, which is okay. Hopefully, you can get out there here in the next day or two.
Yeah.
You going to be able to make it out?
Yeah, we're going to figure out how to get out. Really, there's quite a few birds around north of the Snohomish-Skagit area right now. Need some wind, need the big blustery days to get them off the big water for the inside shoots that we do to start, producing pretty well. If it's pretty calm, the birds just like to kind of park on the salt water and roost most of the day. So we do have a number of birds around right now. We've had some great shoots. We're all anxiously waiting for some colder weather to show up to start stirring some things up. Talked to lots of guys up north of the border that still have a lot of birds up there right now. And as soon as we get a cold snap, I think this should get pretty good.
Well, for a lot of us that are well south of you, basically on the other side of the Columbia, we're very interested in what's going on for you up north, because until your birds leave, we don't get them, right?
Yes.
I mean, so it's always that kind of catch-22 for us down here, that we're hoping that you get that snap, right? That cold snap that either pushes fresh birds to you, which will hopefully push birds to us. But this year, how would you call this season so far? I mean, it's only been a little over a month that the season's been open, but how would you call this season starting out for you guys up north?
Yeah, I would say it's better than average. In fact, October, we had a really good push of birds. Even though it was, 60, 65 degrees out, we had a lot of new birds show up. A couple of the big, wind systems that we've had, where it blows 30, 40, 50 miles an hour up here, seems to have some new birds show up. I've got several buddies that have big leases up in Whatcom County, Bellingham, Ferndale area. They have water already. We didn't have any water this time last year. So the fields have sheet water in them right now. They're starting to hold some birds. We're getting ready to make a trip over to Eastern Washington, over onto the Columbia River here, probably after Thanksgiving, to start trying for some birds. So yeah, we've seen a lot of widgeon, been a lot of widgeon, and now that the pintail limit is up from 1 to 3, seems like everybody's getting their fill full of pinners right now. So haven't seen the big, huge, flock of northern mallards show up where you go out and they're just really responsive to the call. We're still having to work for them, but there is a pretty good amount of birds around right now.
Now, you don't have to be specific to the rock or the blind that you're hunting on, but the kind of terrain that you spend most of your time on up north, is it salty? Is it inland? What is it that you like to target up there?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. We do hunt the mouth of the rivers, so the Skagit River, mouth of the Snohomish River, just the confluence there. I've got a 16-foot war eagle with the big blind on it, so we do hunt out of the boat fairly often. And then we'll work the river systems upriver, finding the little pools and pockets, particularly when the rivers are really flowing and they're approaching flood stage. Does that fill different ponds and areas that we can't normally get into when the water levels are low? So predominantly a lot of hunting out of the boat. We do have, blinds that we keep pretty close to the hip that we like to hunt. And really, there's a couple of Department of Fish and Wildlife have some feel free to hunt spots. It's a 15 shell limit, right? So they don't stay camped in the blinds all day and try and rotate guys in and out. So yeah, there's a handful of different spots that we're kind of bouncing around when the birds start showing up.
Interesting. I've never heard of a 15 shell limit. Over here in Oregon, we've got a couple of spots where you get 25 rounds, but 15. Wow. Yep. Boy, yep. You better shoot them right and tight, baby. I mean, shoot them right and tight. I don't want to do any swatting in those situations. All right, listen. Well, that's a good report for all you guys that are watching that are up north and for us down south, because we need those birds, obviously, to migrate. And when they have their birds leave and they get fresh ones, those birds ultimately show up to us if they get past all the DU food and everything else, but we're not going to get sidetracked. Okay, so Michael, we're going into the holiday season. We got Black Friday stuff that's coming up. Raymarine is jumping in with both feet on that as well. Give us an idea what folks can kind of look into if they want to be more serious about some of the FLIR products or Raymarine products.
Yeah, so we have a couple SKUs for Black Friday this year. The two SKUs that we're going to focus on are the FLIR M232, which is our pan and zoom and tilt thermal camera. We're knocking $600 off the M232 camera between now and December 6th. So smoking deals on the FLIR camera. Those FLIRs work with Raymarine, they work with Garmin, Loran, Simrad, Furuno. So even if you have a different brand of electronics on your boat and you're interested in a FLIR, going to be the best price of the year for a FLIR camera. And then the second one is the Axiom 12 Plus. So our 12-inch all glass touchscreen, built-in real vision sonar. We're knocking $500 off all 12-inch SKUs for Axiom Plus between now and December 5th. So if you're looking to upgrade to a new 12-inch display, maybe you have Raymarine on your boat and you want to add a second station or put one on the back deck or something like that, $500 off between now and December 5th on all Axiom 12 Pluses.
I'm not going to say that I mastered the Axiom 12 this year through Springer season, summer run, and early fall Chinook season. I'm not going to say that I mastered it. But I can tell you that as dumb as I am, Michael, with electronics, and that's just a generational thing, I think. When you say that you're Gen X, there's things that kind of slow us down, and technology might be one of them. I find it to be one of the most user-friendly interfaces that I've ever dealt with, not to use too big of a word for most, but it's very, very user-friendly. I have found it to be very intuitive. I can go from one look to the next just by swiping my finger. I don't have to go out and dig through the whole program in order to change things to the way that I want them. And that 3D view for me, I absolutely love being able to watch real time what those things are doing. It's a really interesting product. I can't wait to spend a little bit more time with it this year, or this upcoming year, I should say. Getting to know that Axiom a little bit more is well worth looking into. And I just had a buddy of mine put that FLIR on the front of his duck boat. He lives over in Idaho. A lot of fog on some of those Snake River hunts, and he is excited as can be about that thing. Running at night.
Awesome.
Is that something that I don't know if Chris is watching right now, but is that something that you would say is an advantage, say in that real foggy conditions, big water rivers, whatever it is, it can see through all that stuff, right?
The FLIR, so it's looking for heat, right? So when you're using the FLIR in its low light conditions, the super dense heavy fog, the FLIR will struggle to see through zero vis fog because it's moisture, right? So really the FLIR is designed for looking for stuff in the water when you're running, right? So the guys that don't want to hit debris on the water, and then as you're duck hunting, you're pulling up to these different islands and shorelines, and you're trying to gauge how far you are away from the bank and stuff like that. Somebody goes over the side, right, man overboard, and you're looking for somebody in the water. That's where the FLIR definitely comes.
I wouldn't have even thought of that. That's genius, especially for those that are crazy enough like myself to be on the Columbia when it's 20 degrees and blowing 40. Which, by the way, is one of my favorite things in the whole world.
Me too.
Also one of the dumbest things in the whole world, too. But if you had that, it'd be killer technology. Okay, last question. I'm down my last 30 seconds here. You're heading over to Idaho. You're going to chase some steelhead on the Clearwater, which is a destination location. How long are you going to be spending your time over there, and how's the fishing been? I'm sure you're getting reports if you're heading that way.
Yeah. Sounds like the fishing's been picking up pretty good. They're getting some good B-run fish coming in. We're going to go over tomorrow and fish Tuesday and Wednesday, and either come home Wednesday evening or Thursday morning. So just a couple of days fishing in before Thanksgiving with the fam. We'll come back after fishing and get right back into some more duck hunting. So yeah, really looking forward to this next week.
Man, I'd love to hook up with you on a Columbia River duck hunt. That's my next December-ish, really. That's when we start heading more that direction. We'll still have to stay in touch and link up over there and see how each other likes to hunt those things on that east side. But Michael, as always, man, enjoy your holiday weekend. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and I hope the fishing's good for you. Let us know how it goes.
You got it, Owen. Good talking to you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
You bet, bud. Take care. Thanks again, as always. Again, that's Michael Surdyk from Raymarine. Really cool dude, and obviously he's out there chasing them. Doesn't matter what it is. He's chasing them. All right, we're going to come back with a quick Chevy Silverado tech tip, and it's more duck hunting stuff. You know that I could just literally talk about that for the entire day, but the question specifically was about motion decoys in our decoys for chasing ducks around. So it'll be a quick one, but hopefully informational, might help you be more successful when you get out.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Yakima Bait, steeped in tradition, innovation, and fishing success. And by Procure Bait Sense, ruthlessly effective.